Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Progmagic of creating new Pokemon for us. And, I feel like I've heard that somewhere before. Where have I? Oh yes, Pokedex Filler. Oh, a channel that is actually pretty damn good. And I check him out a lot in my free time, and because I'm also interested in the fan game he's creating. If you actually do check out his videos, look down in the comments below and you can probably find me. Anyway, let's hop into today's video and see why he's talking like this.
Creating a custom Pokemon for you!
Oh.
Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat.
Hey, yeah, you had a Clodsile. That is Pokedex Phil's persona. Oh, like, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can pause it. Wait. Okay. Yeah, let me just do this. Oh, there it is. Clodsile. Woo! There it goes.
Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat. Hey everyone, Brandon here. A bit ago, my friend TrueGreen7 made a video where he created custom Pokemon for his viewers. So I thought I'd do the same. Though first, I want to acknowledge what else was discussed in Run's video. This format was inspired by a certain creator who has used and continues to use AI in their videos. Many have defended this creator
well, for the backgrounds
as they've moved away from using AI for their Fakemon and have recently stopped using it for their thumbnails. But the fact still remains they continue to use it for background elements and certain assets for their videos, even going so far as to blur the backgrounds to hide the fact that they are using AI. And they're still profiting off videos using AI, which is not okay. They also only started moving away from AI after they had accrued a massive following across many platforms, building their viewer base off stealing from artists by using AI-generated Fakemon. I can appreciate the growth in moving away from AI usage, but those that continue to defend this creator are missing the point. It's like if people defended Team Rocket after they decided to stop stealing people's Pokemon and catch their own the right way. Yet at the same time, Team Rocket's still using those Pokemon they stole to commit crime. One right action doesn't fix the problem. While paying artists is good, and I agree with that, the circumstances around this channel's growth and the continued profit using AI are wrong. As someone who also pays artists to make my Fakemon, I haven't had to resort to the use of AI to make my videos.
Well, look, as I was saying, he only really used the AI in the beginning when, one, he had no money to pay the artists, and even as he had said, had no talent for creating the Fakemons themselves. So, I mean, if he had the money or the talent, yeah, he could create them himself, but he didn't, so he just used what was available. Well, I mean, I doubt any artist would just like, yeah, I'll do it completely for free. Yeah, no, most people would say they need some kind of price for it, and unfortunately, that is just true for a lot of people. But yes, when he did amass a major following and actually stop being able to earn money from it, that's when he could actually stop using AI for, well, the mons themselves and get actual artists to make them. So, while he does still use the AI for the backgrounds, that's not the point of the series. The point of the series is the Pokemon themselves. The background is literally just the background. It could be real, artificial, made by a person. It doesn't matter when the point of the series is the Pokemon themselves and the lore and story. Plus, the dude's also making a fan game as well.
As have many other Fakemon creators, commissioner or not. I wanted to offer this as a series, like Ron, to be an anti-AI option. AI directly steals from artists when creating their algorithm, and the encouragement of its widespread use will only further that problem. Anyway, with that said, I asked you all to submit ideas or designs you had for Fakemon in my Discord in the comments, so they could be made or redesigned by me and the lovely trainer Rex, who I commissioned for all the work in this video. Make sure to check out their link in the description. But first
before the ad cut me off, I said, check them out.
Up, we have a comment from AlexMac8000, who suggests a Pokemon based on librarians, locked diaries, and the trope of keepers of forbidden knowledge. This comment definitely got my wheels turning.
Nice.
And it had me thinking, what if the librarian and keeper of forbidden knowledge was the locked diary? So with that, Rex and I worked together to make Mistome, the Dark Knowledge Pokemon, a psychic dark type. It is said that Mistome contains vast untold knowledge of the universe and its inner workings. The circumstances around its creation are just as much a mystery as its contents. But one theory is that it was created by whoever wrote in its pages to protect the information within. All who have tried to open Mistome to access its secrets have been cursed, unable to read anything ever again. And rumors say those who have seen its contents have suffered an even worse fate. So for its design, I wanted to try to channel that grand knowledge keeper or wizard type vibe with the flowing robes or capes. So I thought a perfect way to do that would be to have it look like the book was trying to open but was being restrained by leather straps and a lock. which the lock has a rune to match its eyes. Like the lock itself is the soul of the Pokemon, kind of an inverse of Klefki in a way. The way the leather straps come down to the lock emulates a kind of calm, contemplative pose of one who has ancient knowledge.
Hands have been brought
I definitely
together.
thought of characters like Wan Shi Tong from Avatar The Last Airbender, and even Gary from that one episode of SpongeBob when crafting this design, which was a fun visit back to my childhood. I'm very proud of how this turned out, so thanks to AlexMac8000 for the idea. Next up, we have a design submitted over on my Discord. The link to join the Discord is in the description, so if you want to submit a design to be redone, go ahead and join. Also, make sure to leave a comment down below with an idea for a Fakemon, and hit those like and subscribe buttons so you can see if your idea makes it in a future video. I'll be turning this into a series if this video does well, so make sure to share it with friends and show whatever support you can.
Nice.
Back to the design though. This first one is by Froggal with Paluzard. I thoroughly enjoyed this concept, but I thought the design could use some adjustments, which I'll discuss after I show the redesign. So with that said, here is the new Paluzard, the pollution Pokemon, a poison dragon type. There were just too many elements to the
I meant to say Triceratops. Why the hell did I say Stegosaurus?
Original that didn't feel as though they contributed to the whole of the design, such as the tail and the presence of the two different symbols to signify the poison typing. It made these really cool tower-esque spikes shooting out clouds get lost in the crowd. When crafting a Pokemon, you really only want one or two major elements to focus the design around. So we made the cloud spikes the focal point of the design, moved the nuclear-esque symbol to its nose, and made its limbs more even in size, giving it this hunched over pose to evoke other lizards like the horned chameleon and iguanas. Froggal didn't specify what kind of lizard Paluzard was based on, so I thought going for a more general combination of lizards vibe would work. Though admittedly, now it's kind of giving more of a dinosaur vibe. I mean, dinosaurs are just giant lizards, right? Oh god, I can hear the paleontology community screaming from here. Either way, we changed the maroon coloration of the original to more of a dark purple and pink, which I feel really makes the bright toxic green parts pop. The dex entry that Froggal gave Paluzard is, they eat bad air and trash and emit a calming aroma from the exhaust pipes on their back. It is speculated that they used to look drastically different from what they are now, but changed due to environmental damage. And it certainly does look drastically different than it did before. And I hope you like it, Froggal. Thanks for submitting.
So it eats pollution and sprays out nutrition. Huh. Alright, name's a little backwards then. Or an oxymoron.
And do you know who helps me pay the incredible artists I work with for designs like these? Our members. You can hit that join button and become a member at any level, which helps me continue to support the artists I work with and be an anti-AI alternative. The Art Mage tier in particular pays for one design a month that I credit you for, but any level of membership really helps. So hit that join button now. For yet another redesign, we look to Nightdrake, who made this cookie dough inspired zombie line called Jarain and Zomkeys. Though this was submitted as an original Pokemon, I couldn't help but look at Jarain and see a Sinistea convergent form waiting to happen. So I present Sinistea, the cookie dough Pokemon, a ghost psychic type. And after being given a soft or crisp cookie to hold, Sinistea evolves into Zomkey, the zombie cookie Pokemon. You can see Zomkey has busted out of the can of Sinistea, much like canned dough tends to pop out suddenly after being opened. I hope Nightdrake doesn't mind.
Whoa, wait a minute. This actually gives me a lot of the vibes of Cactus Steven from Steven Universe.
Me taking some creative liberties here, but I thought the concept fit so well as a convergent rather than something wholly original. The original concept has Zomkey's chocolate chips infecting people to control their minds.
Oh, geez.
And while that works, I think an alternative could be that the people or Pokemon have to eat from this line's dough to become mind-controlled. A reversal on the typical trope of a zombie bite spreading the curse. Plus, Sinistea already has a dex entry where drinking from it will let it steal some of your vitality. So it's in line with existing Pokemon
It also
lore.
tastes awful.
I find this to be a really fun twist on a convergent form and the zombie trope, and I hope you all agree. Thanks again to Nightdrake for submitting their design and inspiring this line.
I like it.
There are some entries that were submitted in the Discord that I felt deserved to be highlighted, because they're good designs and concepts that really didn't need any extra assistance in my opinion. So for our first round of honorable mentions, I'll start with Geishori by Guac on Top. I think this is super solid. If I had to change anything, I would probably add some pupils or irises to those eyes to help make it a bit more expressive. It honestly feels like a relative to Serena, so maybe the design could even work as a regional form. Good work either way. Another honorable mention goes to Phantomations with Boa Aura and Aura Borealis. Those names and the concept are just brilliant. The only thing I would really change is the base stage is a bit too complex and the body could be a bit smaller, but aside from that, these are some really great designs. Next, from Emsh, we have Ferniworm. This design is very epic, but just a bit too much to be a Pokemon. At least a normal one. This could maybe be a legendary.
This is too good to be a Pokemon. This is something you would see in like a Monster Hunter game.
Legendary, though I didn't see Emsh say it was. Also, Pokemon should feel like you want to be their friend, and this design feels just a bit too detailed and menacing. It's a very cool creature design though, and I could see it being in something like D&D. It just needs a bit less detail
D&D
to give a more Pokemon vibe. Like I said, a very cool design nonetheless. Lastly, for this round, we have our only 3D entry from Caffeine Artist with Lemodor. I thought the medium of a 3D model is super fun, and the inspiration of a citrus fruit British naval officer that acts as a reference to scurvy is brilliant. From there, let's head back to a design created from a comic, or I guess I should say an essay, from Minthy T. I was very impressed by the amount of research, detail, organization, and effort in general that went into this entry, and the way it was formatted made it super easy to visualize their idea. You can pause to read all of it if you want. I do not expect, nor do I want every comment or Discord post to look like this, but I had to put respect on this post as it is a great example of how one could present their ideas when commissioning an artist, and definitely inspired me to up my presentation game. So Minthy, I hope you don't mind me using you as an example for the class. Anyway, using what Minthy described, Rex and I created Satire, the goofy goat Pokemon, a grass poison
drunk.
type. I thoroughly enjoyed the idea of a body, Bacchus, Satyr, and Damascus Goat inspired Pokemon, and I hope Rex and I delivered on what Minthy was looking for. I decided to focus less on the vaudeville elements because they really didn't feel like they tied in as naturally as the rest of the elements listed, and I felt like they would get lost in the mix. Instead, we focused on the Commedia dell'arte aspect, making Satire based more on the wealthy old man or Vecchio archetype. But Satire is not wealthy in money, but wealthy in joy and fruit. Speaking of, the fruit that grows atop Satire has an effect similar to laughing gas when consumed by other Pokemon and people, making them easier to entertain. When the fruit is eaten by Satire, it relaxes them and makes them more personable. They will make a fool of themselves by singing loudly or imitating their audience to keep them entertained. Having Pokemon that make reference to alcohol always has to be a little bit less direct, so I tried to make the Dex entry reflect that. Thanks so much to Minthy for submitting your idea and inspiring this goofy goat. From there, we have a design submitted by I Am No One Special 1, which I heavily disagree with that username. Anyway, they submitted an idea for a potential Remoraid evolution called Remorifle, which is a great name and is a more natural progression of the line, rather than evolving into an octopus. Though it's inspired by a rifle and tripod fish, I felt those aspects were included a bit too literally. My main thought was that we could adjust some of the proportions to help make it feel a bit more like a Pokemon, rather than Remoraid plus Rifle plus Tripod Fish. So allow me to introduce the new and improved Remorifle, a pure water type. So to really tie this whole thing together, I added a sailfish into the list of inspirations. This allows for a bigger sail that kind of acts like a scope, and helps balance the top to bottom fin ratio. Speaking of, the bottom fins, while still a reference to the tripod fish,
could actually make it almost like a lost middle stage, like it goes from pistol to rifle to tank.
Now feel like the stand of a sniper
rifle. Though then again, that would still be a weird jump to go from fish to octopus.
Rifle. And moving the eye back on the head and extending out the mouth makes it feel more like the barrel of a rifle. I can really see this Pokemon posting up somewhere and taking shots at prey from afar. It would most certainly learn Inteleon's signature move Snipe Shot and have Sniper as an ability. I considered making it a water steel type because of how edgy and constructed it feels, but decided against it. Let me know if you think it should be. Maybe Remoraid evolves into this while holding a metal coat. Anyway, thanks so much to I Am Very Special 1 for submitting this design and allowing me to adjust it. And before our last redesign of the video, allow me to share our second round of honorable mentions. First of this round, we have this electric steel type line from Retroplasm. I think these are all solid creature designs and really didn't need much adjustment. The only thing I would change is that the final stage is a bit busy design-wise, and is a big jump in evolution compared to the jump from the base stage to the middle. Retro always submits such great designs though. Next, we have Musha from Gracie. I think this creature is adorable,
that is so
and I want to swipe the idea for one of my D&D campaigns. But without knowing what the design is inspired by, it feels a bit like two random things thrown together. Which
it looks like it's meant to be a cow and a firefly.
Which is totally fine in normal creature design, but when designing a Pokemon, Game Freak tends to be a bit more deliberate with how they piece aspects of a Pokemon together. If there's an inspiration that I'm totally missing, let me know, but otherwise that's something for you all to consider when making a Pokemon. Awesome job though, Gracie.
Yeah,
after that, from Sword Dino 420, we have a Yamask variant and Ludadrigus. I thought these designs were super fun, but what I loved the most about them is the creative use of stock images to get the idea across. This is an incredible example of why you don't need to use AI to show off what you want to make. Things like this are another great example of something you could submit to an artist if you wanted to commission them, or they work as a start for someone wanting to get into the making of the artwork themselves. This is art.
Yeah, get a friend.
Regardless of what elements were used, a person made it. And that is what I think makes this entry wonderful. Last but not least, for our honorable mentions, we have two entries with the same reason for not being redesigned. We have these designs by Octopatty for our regional Skorupi and new evolution, Excorpion, which is an excellent name, and these baby stages for Ndidi by Mima. These designs are honestly really well crafted, Like, truly, Octopatty and Mima just need to keep practicing the Pokemon art style, and I
These
could
all
totally
really
see
good.
these designs working in an actual game. They are well balanced and well thought out. Great work to the both of you. For our final redesign of the video, we have this entry from Bones, which fittingly is a Ghost-type evolution for Scyther named Reapor. The core concept is very easy to see, it just needs a few adjustments and to be put more into a Pokemon style to really bring the idea to life. So here is the redesigned Reapor, the Scythe Pokemon,
that's
Bug Ghost
good.
This Pokemon evolves from Scyther when traded while holding a Reaper Cloth. I thought adding in the item that had Reaper in its name, at least in the English translation, was
in
a
the English
fantastic way to go with this design. You can see the Reaper Cloth reaches out like a hand from the scarf or hood of Reapor. We also tried to add in a splash of the Kabutops missing note to give this design a real Gen 1 feeling. Like, this could have been the natural evolution to Scyther. Maybe an alternate evolution method could be if it faints while in the Pokemon Tower. I think Rex and I definitely managed to hone in on the...
No, hold on. You take a fainted Scyther into the Pokemon Tower and use a revive on it. And a revive or a max revive. You use one of those, but instead of it reviving as a Scyther, it initiates the evolution into Reapor.
Macabre vibes that Bones was going for. The scythes of Reapor and its more exoskeletal body structure definitely make it feel more menacing, but in a very Scyther evolution kind of way. Thanks so much to Bones for submitting this design. And those are some custom Pokemon for my viewers. Make sure to share this video to help it reach more eyes, and submit your ideas in the comments.
Alright everyone, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.